Hello, guys. Welcome back to another Footy Fans podcast. It is me, Liam, and Izzy here today. And what we're going to be doing in this episode is talking through who our 24-man England squad would be for the Euros. Obviously, this is sort of if everyone was not injured and everyone was sort of ready for the team. But yeah, start off with starting 11. I'll go first. I've got Dean Henderson as my starting goalkeeper. I think he's not been playing as much compared to the other goalkeepers such as Nick Pope, but I think Dean Henderson, in my opinion, is one of our best. Is probably the best England goalkeeper at the moment, purely for his ability, and he's had England experience in the under-21s and so on and so forth. So I think he'd be a good choice for our goalkeeper spot.
Yeah, it's fair enough. And I know you're quite a big fan of Dean Henderson and he has got a lot of potential. I've gone for Nick Pope just purely because I think he's been really consistent. I think he's a lot better than the Burnley squad he's in. I think he could join a better team and he'd do really well for us in the Euros. So I'll go for Nick Pope in goal.
I've gone with a standard 4-3-3 formation. So left back, I've got Luke Shaw. I think he's probably England's best left back at the moment. There's not really many choices other than him. Let's be honest, but I think he shows ability. He's very on and off, but at the moment he's on form. So I think Luke Shaw is probably our best bet at left back.
Yeah, I completely agree. And I think, he's had a tough time with injuries in the previous years. And he's, like you said, he hasn't been the most consistent. But this season he's been unbelievable. And I think he's really shown his quality and what he can do. And I think he'd do really well at the Euros, especially with the confidence that he's got this season. He's just been, one of the best fullbacks in the league, in my opinion.
I'll do my two centre backs. I've gone with John Stones and Harry Maguire. I think obviously we have got a lot of options. When he's not injured, Joe Gomez is definitely a good shout. But I think in the England squad, I don't know what it is, but especially as their rivals in their normal clubs, but John Stones and Harry Maguire just work really well together in the England squad. And I think when they're together, especially in the England defence, having left back and right back with them, they work really well, and it is hard to work down the England defence at points. So yeah, John Stones and Harry Maguire I think are the best bets for centre back partnership.
Yeah, I've gone the same, and I was sort of toying with some others. Yeah, I think Harry Maguire I think he's a little bit inconsistent at Man United, but in the England squad, he's just always good. I think he got the winner against Poland the other day. He's really good, and John Stones this season is just a bit similar to Luke Shaw. He's just been this season very consistent, and I think those two at the back would be very strong for us.
Yeah, definitely. Right back, I've gone with someone that obviously wasn't picked for by Gareth Southgate in the qualifiers. He probably will get picked for the Euros, but I've gone with Trent Alexander-Arnold. I think out of the argument between him, I think it's Wan-Bissaka and Reece James, he definitely is the best right back, and he's best right back in England. So I think he should definitely be the starter right back when he's fit. I mentioned the other two, but like I said, Trent is probably our best right back, and the others should probably be there. But no, they would, for me, I wouldn't be playing over Trent.
Definitely, and it's another player that we're quite lucky that we've got a lot of people that could fill in there. But I agree. I think Trent Alexander-Arnold is the perfect person to go at right back. Like you said, he didn't get selected for this international break, and I think it was yesterday or the day before against Arsenal. He was just unbelievable and he showed his class. So I think we know he has got it. Yes, he had a bit of a dry spell in form, but actually he's come back after this international break after not getting selected, and he played really well against Arsenal. So I think that just shows his quality, and that, that dip in form was just temporary.
Yeah, definitely. Three centre mids. I've gone with Phil Foden as one of them. I think he's someone that features a lot on this channel for reasons, but yeah, Phil Foden. I've gone with Declan Rice because I think he's a good holding midfielder and he's definitely going to be one of our best in the future. But for the other centre mid, I think I am really torn at the moment between Jesse Lingard and Jack Grealish, purely because of how good Jesse Lingard's been for West Ham, and the turn in form that he's had is phenomenal. So I think they definitely should both be there. Whether they start on the subs bench or they start on the starting 11, but I genuinely at the moment couldn't choose between Jesse Lingard and Jack Grealish for their form at the moment, because they've both been very equal.
Yeah, Lingard has, since his loan move, he's been unbelievable. I didn't choose him. I put in CDM, I put Jordan Henderson purely just because he's a really good leader. Technically wise, people say he's not actually the best on the ball, but it's just his leadership that makes him so vital to Liverpool. I think I agree with that in a way, and I think he would help England a lot. This is a bit controversial, especially because of what we've spoken about, but I think Mason Mount does really well in the England squad. So I'd start him, and then I'd also do Jack Grealish as well, just because he's unbelievable. I think he's way too good for Aston Villa, and he's got to be starting every game for England, in my opinion.
So you wouldn't start Phil Foden?
I don't think he's quite ready for a Euros just yet, where I think Mason Mount has matured a bit quicker.
Okay, fair enough. I mean, Benji will love that, but
I still think Phil Foden's got a brighter future, but I think for the Euros, Mason Mount would suit it more.
Yeah, to be fair, I think Mason Mount's played more for Chelsea, therefore having a bit more experience, but exactly. I'd still put Phil Foden over him because I think he has got a better ability.
Yeah.
I'll just do left wing to start off with. I've gone with Raheem Sterling. I think, again, he's probably our best winger or one of the best in England. Very fast, very good with his feet, and can pop up with the odd goal here and there. So I think Raheem Sterling is probably the best bet for the left wing spot.
Yeah, I've put Marcus Rashford. I have got Sterling in my team, but he's elsewhere. But yeah, Marcus Rashford on the left wing. I think he played fairly well against Brighton yesterday. Obviously, it's not a top side, so obviously he looks better than he is a lot of the time when he plays teams like us. But he was very good. He got a goal, and I think he is going to do well for England.
Right wing, I've gone with Jadon Sancho, purely because he is. I think he's fantastic. He's been recently has been a bit overhyped, but then again, he is still very good, and it's not like overhyped because everyone's saying he's good and he's not. It's just saying he is getting too much hype for how young he is. But I still think he's good enough. I still think he's definitely a good enough winger, and I don't see why he's not been picked as well as Trent for the qualifiers. But I hope he's picked for the Euros because he would do very well for us.
Yeah, he is unbelievable winger. I haven't actually seen too much from this season, so I've put Sterling on the right wing, and I think that could interchange with, you could one week you put Sterling on the left, Rashford on the right, and interchange it. Obviously, bringing Sancho in as well, but. Yeah, I've put Sterling just because I've seen more of his quality because I watch him more. But I think if I watched a bit more of Sancho, I could probably be swayed to start him.
Yeah, obviously, with them playing in the Bundesliga, you don't really watch Bundesliga as someone who's in like the Premier League sport or an English person. And I mean, let's be honest, you're a Brighton supporter, you probably won't be playing Borussia Dortmund anytime soon.
Yeah.
But I think. It's harder to judge people like Bellingham as well and Jadon Sancho because they don't play in England and we don't watch them that often. But I just from watching clips of what Jadon Sancho does to people partnered up with Erling Haaland. Obviously, we don't have Erling Haaland in England, but partnered up with Erling Haaland, he just does really, really well. So I think just having Jadon Sancho on the wing would just be a great addition. Striker, I've gone just classic Harry Kane. To be honest, I'm very on and off with my opinion about Harry Kane. I think he's a fantastic striker. He's probably the best finisher in England. I think you can't argue that. But then again, he is quite slow, and he definitely needs those fast people such as Raheem Sterling and Jadon Sancho with him. But as a poacher and as a leader and one of the best, one of the best currently in England as a striker. I think, you should probably be putting Harry Kane up front.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't put him, it's just, stupid, to be honest. I think he's one of the probably top 3 strikers in the world. I think he's just that good. And you can't really argue with it. He is just unbelievable. And he leads England so well, gets so many goals. So, I think anyone that wouldn't put him in the starting 11 hasn't ever watched a game of football.
Right, hold on. You say top 3 strikers in the world. Who is your top 3?
I think
a bit of a tangent.
Yeah, I think I don't know what order I'd put it in, but I think Lewandowski, Kane, maybe. I think definitely top 2, but I'm not sure who I'd put in that third spot.
See, I'm still a believer that it should be Ronaldo, Lewandowski, and then Mbappe or Haaland. I'd say Harry Kane for me is top 5.
Yeah, I mean, he's class, but I just think he's starting. You can't argue. He's 36. He's starting to fall off a little bit, but he's very good.
If you put him in the Premier League, he'd still do bits.
Yeah, and I could probably put him and Haaland in the same sort of third position, just because I think it's just because he's getting older. If we did this a couple of years, he's 36 now, but I think even now when people are saying, "Oh, Ronaldo's having a bad season," I'm sure he's got like 20 goals in or 24 goals in 25 games. So yeah, I mean there is an argument for it, but yeah, I think Kane's definitely got to be second, at least.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. For subs, goalkeeper, I've got Nick Pope. 2 defenders, I've gone with Kyle Walker and Joe Gomez, considering they're both fit. 2 midfielders, I've obviously because I did either Jack Grealish or Jesse Lingard in the starting 11. I've gone the other one as one of the midfielders, and Mason Mount in the midfield, and then the 2 attackers that I've got on the bench is Marcus Rashford and Danny Ings. I think one of the standouts there is definitely Mason Mount for how good he is at such a young age. Obviously Nick Pope as well. He definitely could be starting. He's obviously starting for you, but he's a very good goalkeeper. And the 2 attackers we've got as a backup, Danny Ings and Marcus Rashford for me. I know Marcus Rashford's starting for you, but they are very prolific. Obviously Danny Ings doing really well for Southampton. And I think, just as a bench, that if that was a 7-a-side team, you'd win. I think it's a very good team. Got a bit of got a couple of youngsters in there. Got a couple of prolific goal scorers. And you just got a couple of people that know how to play. I've said it a couple of times, but I think it is just a very all-round subs bench, and it does work well.
Yeah, mine's a little bit more attacking sort of bench, but I think there's a couple of players that even if I've got Declan Rice, for example, but I think he could sit back if we ever needed it. So I've gone for Dean Henderson, Reece James, Declan Rice, Phil Foden, Jadon Sancho, James Maddison, and Dominic Calvert-Lewin. I think I can't even pick really a standout because they've all been unbelievable. I think obviously Reece James, he's very good for his age. So's Rice, so's Foden. I think the youth on the bench is just unbelievable. And like we said before, Jadon Sancho, despite not watching too much of him, from what you do see, I think maybe at the start of the season he had a little bit of a blip, but he is going to be unbelievable. And I think James Maddison is injured at the moment, but he's an unbelievable midfielder, and I think he could easily start as well. So, like I said before, it's just the squad depth we've got. It's unbelievable.
Last 6 men for the squad. Obviously, you've got the subs, you've got the starting 11. You need the last 6 for the 24-man squads. I've gone with our 3rd goalkeeper, maybe a bit controversial. I've gone with Sam Johnston. I've only gone with 1 defender. I've gone with Wan-Bissaka as our backup defender. In the midfield, I've gone with James Ward-Prowse. I think he's been phenomenal recently for Southampton, and he is a great addition. If you watched England training clips on YouTube, he's very good with finishing. Obviously, everyone knows his free kicks are incredible. I've also gone with Ben Chilwell. I think as a backup left back, because at the moment the only left back I've picked is Luke Shaw. And 2 attackers, I've gone with Dominic Calvert-Lewin. You put him on your bench, obviously he deserves to be there. And Patrick Bamford, because I think he's been quite good recently in the Premier League, really holds his own. And I think he deserves to be there. I wouldn't start him, to be honest.
I've gone for Harvey Barnes, Ben Chilwell, Bukayo Saka, Jesse Lingard, Lewis Dunk, and Ollie Watkins. There's a bit of bias coming in. I'd love to see him start for England, and I think he is very consistent.
I think people sleep on Lewis Dunk a little bit because he is a very good defender. And I think people don't realise, because obviously Brian aren't doing very well at the moment in the Prem.
Yeah.
And people do sleep on him a little bit because of how good he actually is. And I remember first game of the season last year, I went to go and watch it, and I think Lewis Dunk just bossed it because it was Watford versus Brighton. We lost 3-0, but honestly, it was so weird because the year before, our attackers were doing really well, and then we went into that game and Lewis Dunk kind of stopped everything that went past, and I was like, he probably should be playing for England because he just he is so much better than people make out for it.
Do you think we're going to win it this year?
No, I think we will go far. I think semi-finals, maybe even the final is fair, but it's just a case of every other team at the moment. France is fantastic. Germany's team's incredible. Spain's team's good. So I think even Italy as well. Italy's doing well. So I think at the moment, no, but the potential that we've got shows that we can win it in the future. Give it maybe two more Euros when Phil Foden and Mason Mount and Declan Rice, Jadon Sancho, all these youngsters that we're including already are, when they're in their primes, they'll just be, the England team will be incredible, and I don't think you can argue that.
Yeah, I'd say I'd be disappointed if we didn't at least get to the semis, but obviously,
Yeah.
we might draw like a Belgium or a France in the quarters, so you never know how it's going to go. But yeah, I think we're definitely good enough to get to the final, maybe even win it. But yeah, I agree with you. I just don't see it happening this Euro or the World Cup. Maybe the ones following that, when, like you said, the youth players are in their prime. But yeah, not yet.
I mean, the thing is as well with we probably won't win the Euro. I want us to win the Euros. Don't get me wrong, but we probably won't win the Euros. But in 2 years' time, when the World Cup comes along, well, it's not 2 years' time actually. It's next year, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. We probably won't win the World Cup then as well. But yeah, come the next Euro and World Cup when when the players I've just said, they're all like 24, 25 years old and in their prime years as a football player. Yeah, we probably could actually win the Euros and go on to win the World Cup, and it will probably be like a golden age for the England team because they are just all very good players now, and if they continue how they're going, then they'll be good players then and even better players then. So, yeah, I think we've got a good future, but I wouldn't expect to win any of the game, any like the World Cup or Euros this year or next. Okay, thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe. Follow our Instagram, the Footy Fans YT. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. Check out the other episodes that we've done. So yeah, thank you guys for watching and see you in a bit.